वो अल्लाह के प्यारे महबूब नमाज पढ़ रहे हैं रब के लिए, लेकिन ध्यान और ज़हन हुसैन की तरफ है कि हुसैन जब उठेगा अपने आराम से, अपनी तसल्ली से, उस वक्त मोहम्मद रसूलुल्लाह सजदे से अपना सर उठाएगा। हुसैन बैठे रहे, कितना वक्त बैठे रहे, कितना अरसा बैठे रहे। आज हमारे इमाम साहब अगर 3 मरतबा, 5 मरतबा, 10 मरतबा तस्बीहात पढ़ते हैं तो फिर हमारे मुक्तदी हजरात परेशान हो जाते हैं। कुर्बान जाए उन सहाबा के सबर पर कि मुस्तफा करीम ने ये नहीं कहा हुसैन बेटे एक तरफ हो जाओ, मैं अल्लाह की नमाज पढ़ रहा हूं, लेकिन मुस्तफा करीम ने हजरत इमाम हुसैन को अपनी प्यास को बुझाने दिया और तस्बीह को न 3 मरतबा, न 10 मरतबा, न 20 मरतबा। उलमा फरमाते हैं कि मुस्तफा करीम ने उस वक्त और उस वक्त के अंदर एक सजदे में 70 मरतबा अल्लाह की तस्बीह की। He made the tasbih of Allah, what we make, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la, 3 times at least. The Prophet of Allah made it for 70 times. Only Hussein, when he wants to get off my shoulders, he can get off my shoulders. So this was the love, and he began to play with the hair of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which history mentions. So this is the reality of Imam Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu. That Mustafa Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam says that Al-Hasan wal-Hussein सैयदा शबाब अहल जन्ना, के हसन और हुसैन जितने भी जन्नती नौजवान हैं उनके सरदार हैं। And the hadith has been narrated by Sahib Mishkat and many other authentic books of hadith. So didn't those people who assassinated Imam Hussein know Al-Hasan wal Hussein or Sayyida Shabab Ahl Jannah? Indeed they were aware. Imam Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu's story is something which every Muslim should learn a lesson from. And the main lesson is وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ, that we will definitely test you and try you a little with hunger, a little with fear. وَنَقْسٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ, we will take your lives away from you, we will take some wealth away from you, and we will take your children and families away from you, maybe your husband or your brother away from you, and we will test you. And like it then says, وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ, after taking all these things away from you, he who is patient, give them glad tidings that he has been patient. So patience is the first lesson, as well as sacrifice in the land of Karbala. Imam Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu in the 60th Hijri, when we study history, the Khilafah from Imam Hassan radiallahu ta'ala anhu moved on to Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu was a Sahabi Rasul. Today, those people who say the war between Sayyidina Ali and Amir Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, this was like this and this was like this, one should stay quiet because we have fear of losing our iman. These are such creations for whom Mustafa Kareem says, Ashabi kan najum, they are the stars of the night sky. Between you and them, there is a distance, and a very long distance. So we see that Amir Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu was a Sahabi Rasul. And in his lifetime, his son Yazid did not display any wrong things before his father. Yazid would read namaz with his father. But as Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah passed away and Yazid came to the throne, this was when the true colors of Yazid came to the face of dunya. In the presence of Amir Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Yazid did not do anything wrong in his presence. If he did, he would have told him off because he was a Sahabi Rasul. When he passed away, then he began to neglect prayer, began to neglect fast, gave more priority to animals and dogs. I have read myself in the very authentic books of ulama that Yazid used to respect the dogs so much that his men would walk with him when they used to go dog hunting, and his dogs would sit on the saddles of horses. He would give more respect to the dog than his courtiers. He would bathe them, brush them, and this was Yazid. He would miss his namaz. He would be very immersed within alcohol. He was busy also. But the only one thing which he was really, really feared of was a few people and a handful of people, including Imam Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Abdullah ibn Umar, Abdullah ibn Zubair radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and a few others, that he wanted them to accept him as a Khalifa, which they did not. But history mentions that time passed and elapsed, that how Imam Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu moved on from Madinah al-Munawwara to Makkah al-Mukarramah, then to Kufa, and then all the way to the land of Karbala, passing through. And history tells us and history explains to us that how these people mistreated Imam Hussein. They knew everything. They knew whose blood runs in the veins of Imam Hussein. And these were people who read the Kalima. These were people who read their namaz, or their salah. These were people who performed their wuzu. These were people who knew what Islam was. But just to the greed of dunya, the greed of name and fame, in the leadership of Ibn Sayyad, and then Yazid himself, we see how they assassinated the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's not very wise to specifically pick out what happened and how it happened, because the first ever book written on the reality and the happenings of Karbala was written after 100 years after the 60th Hijri. So in the Hijri of 160th Hijrah, the first book was written. So as you can see that in 100 years, who remembers what and who was there? There were no TV cameras, that nobody was there jotting who struck the sword and what happened. But ulama have mentioned what they could mention, the sheikhs of Islam has mentioned what they could mention. But the lesson that you can learn is patience. The lesson that you can learn is that Allah is trying us and testing us. The lessons that you can learn that our life is a battle and a war against the shaitan, day in and day out. I was mentioning a hadith to the people in the masjid in which I work, of Imam Bukhari radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that the shaitan himself early morning, he puts his throne, spreads his throne on the water and sits there. And he sits there and calls all his children. And before I carry on to that, I was watching television, and there was someone interviewing all Muslims in a specific country. And the question was, does the shaitan have children? Does the shaitan have a lineage? And they were all saying the shaitan has no family, he doesn't have children, he's just one, and he makes people do wrong things and so on and so forth. He's the devil. This is the ignorancy we have in Islam today. That we do not even know that even the shaitan, if he has helpers, or if the devil has children or family members who help him in deviating people. So he calls all his armies on the throne, on the water, and he sends them to different places. Imam Bukhari radiallahu ta'ala says he sends a group of shaitans and devils to the people who are doing wudu, to misguide them, to waste water. He sends a group of shaitans to try to put wrong ideas into the minds of students. Oh, I'm not going to school today, I've got a headache. He sends a group of shaitans to houses of people to make a differentiation and try to split between the husband and wife. So one shaitan comes to him and he says, Huzur, this is what I have done today. And the shaitan says, oh, that's nothing, just sit down. And someone else comes and he says, Your Eminence, I have done the greatest thing today, and this is the greatest fitna and mischief you can have. And he says, what is that? He said, well, today I started a fight between a Muslim husband and a Muslim wife, and they fought and they fought and they fought until the talaq took the place. He stands up and he hugs him and he says, shabash to him. Well done, son. You done good. So this life is a fight and war against the shaitan, against the nafs itself. And Imam Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu told mankind and civilization that if you want to be successful, whether living in that time or in a time of turmoil today, when people take the mickey and the fun out of the sunnah of Mustafa Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam. Someone wearing green turban down the street, people will laugh at him. Never mind non-Muslims, Muslims will laugh at him. Someone wearing a jalbab down the street, people will laugh at him.